What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about something that was just music to my ears, okay? It was that Elden Ring confirming kind of its difficulty. Now, obviously, with games like this, you're going to have a lot of talk about difficulty. I understand that, and I get there's more than one way of looking at it. I think there is, I have one general opinion about difficulty that seems like, as time has gone on, more people, I think, have agreed with, but it's pretty much Elden Ring talking about how it's still going to be a very, very difficult game if you guys are used, or if people, right, are used to playing these, these Souls games or Sekiro or any of these other games. Obviously you know kind of what to expect, right? But it's going to be a little bit easier than some of them. The creator, I think, compared it to Dark Souls 3, as that's one that's somewhat comparable to what you're going to be going through here, but that it's still going to be very, very hard, still going to be very, very challenging, but it is going to be manageable, was the quote, right? Hard but manageable, and that there would be no difficulty options. Now, here's the deal. That part right there was music to my ears, because right there just signaled to the gaming journalists of the world to start complaining. Now they can't accurately review it. Now they have to lie about certain things. Now they have to complain, which we knew they were going to do anyway. No, I mean, in all honesty, I don't want to make the video 100% about that. Obviously, talking about the difficulty in itself, but we kind of just did that. So I do want to mention this though. Like, it's laughable. I laugh personally. Also, I guess I get a little mad every time games like this come out, when we see the Kotakus of the world, and it will be trust me, guys, it will be Kotaku, it will be Polygon, it will be the usual suspects, let's say, okay? These are the people every single time that any of these games come out, not even just From Software games, just any game that's moderately difficult, they complain. They demand an accessibility mode or an easy mode, which, let me make clear in case it's the first time you guys are seeing this. Is it noble to want all games to be made for all people, right? Is what The Last of Us did. Now, The Last was Part 2. While I'm not the biggest fan in the world of the game, I think there's a lot of story things that were messed up, stuff like that. I do think it's actually a really, really good game besides certain things. Well, one thing that's definitely good about the game is the accessibility. That's a game... And I'll explain in a second, though, why you can get away with something like that, right? What they did with the accessible options, where, if you're blind or that's just the first one. All of these different things that you could be dealing with, right? And playing this game, you can do it. And it really is like a round of applause. You cannot take that kind of stuff away, okay? So I'm not saying like that is evil, that's bad, you shouldn't do that in the game. No, okay? What I will say, though, The Last of Us is not being make or break based off of its gameplay. In fact, I think a lot of people, especially as time would go on, would argue that the gameplay is some of the weakest things. And in fact, it didn't change all that much. I actually like the dodge in The Last of Us Part 2 and certain things like that, but it didn't change much from 1 to 2. So the general point I'm making is, yes, you can play The Last of Us 2 with all these accessibility options, and I would argue it doesn't take away almost at all from why you're supposed to be playing the game, okay? And that's the little small thing that a lot of people, I think, just kind of gloss over, where they say, well, every game needs to be made for every single person. Firstly, that is just the stupidest statement of all time. That's not how it works, okay? You can find a game for you. You can find a game with accessibility options. Not every single game needs to be made for every single person, especially a game like this. And it's always been, and I guess not like it, maybe not accessibility things, because there's not much, if you're blind, if you're born blind, or you become blind, right? If there's a way to make you experience the difficulty and just how mind-numbingly hard these games are, if you can get that without actually being able to see the game, and you can pull that off, go for it. You know what I mean? Try it. That, I have no problem with that. But making it easier is not good. I've always been against it. I've always been against this outcry of making it easier. And to be flat out honest with you guys, let me tell you this, from what I've seen over the past 3, 4, 5, I mean, every single time a From Software game comes out, they do this. Every single time a game that's got difficult bosses or difficult areas come out, they do this. Are games hard? Some games hard? Absolutely, okay? Have I beaten Returnal? No. Have these journalists who reviewed the game and done all this stuff beaten Returnal? Oh, absolutely not. In fact, a lot of them admitted in the review they played like 10 to 20% of the game, which is pathetic, okay? Absolutely pathetic. So that's my opinion of it. When you're changing what the game is, it's not worth doing, right? Adding an easy mode to, Elden Ring would not be a good idea whatsoever. The game is, again, designed to be difficult. That's the whole point. I mean, there are other things, but that is the main point of any of these From Software games, okay? You could say that's boiling it down just a little too small. I mean, maybe I would agree with that, but, I mean, that's literally what it is, right? But that's the thing. So, and I'm calling it. You guys bookmark this video, okay? Because here's what's going to happen. And this is why I want you to bookmark it, okay? The game's going to come out. You're going to see reviewers, and they call themselves reviewers, and they give the game, they review it, which is sad because you could just do an impressions thing, or you could just do my thoughts, my honest thought. You could do something where you're not literally reviewing the game, because you can't review a game you play 10 to 20% of. I'm sorry, you can't. Do you go into a movie, watch 15 minutes, leave it, and then review it based off of the first 10% and say, oh, I reviewed the movie because I watched, the first 15 minutes? I mean, you'd be fired immediately, but for some reason, these journalists continue. And I am taking shots. I'd like to make that known, okay? But no, bookmark this video, because here's what's going to happen. The game is going to release. You're going to have outcry and outcry and outcries from these people saying, it's too difficult, I can't do it. I don't understand why this game doesn't have accessibility options. I don't understand why this game doesn't have an easy mode. It is sad. There's lots of people out there that can't play it. And these people are in such a small minority, they don't even get it, right? The people that complain about it, okay, don't buy the games anyway. The journalists that do it, I mean, they get the games for free, right? Anybody backing them up, trust me, they don't even play these games. They don't. And here's the perfect example, is me. And that could maybe be, that's hard because it's like, well, I'm the owner of the channel and stuff like that, right? But let me tell you right now, I have not beaten a single From Software game ever, and I never will. I actually would guarantee you guys, I will never beat a From Software game. I haven't even beaten, let's say 25%. I'm probably beating 10 to 20% of some, if I'm lucky. Some of them I'm probably beating 5 to 10%, okay? I'm horrible at these games. They are so hard, okay? And I've played very hard games, but they're like a different kind of hard, and I enjoy them. I enjoy this, but I'm just not good at them, at this one. I'm actually good at some other kinds of, like, top-down kind of hard games I'm better at, stuff like that, okay? But I'm the perfect example. Do you know how many of these games I've bought? Quite a few of them. Quite a few. And I'm buying Elden Ring. So it's like, in my opinion, the people that buy the game, even if it's too hard for them, they kind of accept it because you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. The only people complaining are the people that never have bought it, don't buy it, and then if it is easy, maybe they play it, maybe like 10, 20, 30% of them would actually play it. It's not worth it, though. And then by doing that, by the way, you completely ruin the game because it's not designed to be easy. That's not the point of the game. So, that's as much to me as it boils down to. I've made this argument. I know I made it for like Sekiro or Sekiro. I never know how to say it. If you guys want to tell me in the comments, go ahead. But I've always, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, I've made this argument countless times, mainly on the main channel, and I'm always going to, because I just think it breaks what the game actually is. You know what I mean? It ruins like the integrity almost of the game. That's probably the phrase I was looking for, okay? So let me know. I could be way off base. I like this about Elden Ring. I like the no difficulty. Give me the difficulty you want me to play it in. Because obviously, if you don't give a difficulty, then how the game acts and what you're playing it's exactly how they want it to be. You know what I mean? I respect that. I respect like the visionary or the artist's goal and their actual vision, and that's what they're doing. So I like it. I like no easy mode. I like no difficulty. If they want to make it slightly easier because they feel it's necessary or whatever, go ahead. I'm sure it'll still be too difficult for 90% of the people, and that's fine. That's what it's supposed to be. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon, hit the like button, and I do a brand new video on this channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.